It's International Widows' Day. The day aims to raise awareness about the human rights violations that women often suffer after the death of their spouses. The Socio-Economic Rights Institute of South Africa represents families of miners killed in Marikana. The organization has been assisting those widows since the massacre more than 6 years ago. We're now joined by Kuselwa Tyanji from the Socio-Economic Rights Institute, as well as Awerani Madira, founder of the Widowed Foundation. Ladies, a very good afternoon to you both. Thank you for coming in. Kuselwa, I want to start with you. It's been a number of years since the Marikana massacre happened. The widows, as part of that settlement with the families, were due to receive some money. But what is their quality of life today?
Thank you very much. You know, we started working with the families back in 2012. And if you can see them now, their lives have changed a lot. When we worked with them in 2012, they were still like mourning and they like wearing mourning clothes. So they were like based in the communities back in the rural areas, Eastern Cape, Swaziland, Lesotho, and the Mafeking. So now they are all, the majority is based in Lonmin. So they had to take over the jobs of their spouses in Marikana. So they are working now. Their lives have changed a lot compared to the one they had before.
Awerani, the Widowed Foundation, yes. Why was it important to even have such an organization created? What gap had you guys spotted?
We had to recognize the injustice that happened over the discrimination of widows. And unfortunately, this injustice often discriminate the women and their children. Unfortunately, this impact on their welfare on a daily basis. So we had to establish an organization where we are going to ensure that their welfare is protected, that their minds, their emotions, they are taken care of, that when they take daily decisions, they just don't take them for themselves, but they also include their children. Because at the end, the children are involved in so many disadvantages, the bullying, the crimes, the violence, and the substance abuse. We had to ensure that we offer services to close those gaps.
I want to come back to you, Kuselwa, because you mentioned how a lot of the Marikana widows have had to now leave the Eastern Cape and Lesotho, wherever their husbands had come from, to go take up jobs at the mines after the deaths of their husbands. When you look at just that move, these are people who are still in mourning. What is done to ensure that, apart from the physical, emotionally they are seen to as they begin a new chapter after such trauma?
I think they had to figure out everything themselves, because from the state or from any other organizations, nothing has been done for them. So, I mean, if you can go back to the commission, most of them, they were not even allowed to attend the commission because of their tradition. Like, you cannot move around with your mourning clothes, but they had to make that decision for themselves, because that the commission, they knew that it's very important for them and for their children, so that when they narrate the story of Marikana, they know exactly what happened. So they had to sacrifice their dignity so that they are able to narrate their story for their children. So it was very difficult for them even to that change from the rural areas and to come and live this life in Marikana. So it was very difficult, but at the end, I think they are in a better position now. Without anyone like assisting them, they had to do everything all by themselves. And I think because of the also, I think they were like in one space together, so that was like helping them to mourn, to grieve, and to find a way forward.
All right, I want to take that point about tradition, culture, and customs and put it to you, because often when we hear about traditional society, and even in pockets of South African communities, you hear about how those are used still to hold widowed women back. Are you seeing a shift in the traditional attitudes and how we relate to women who are widows?
We still have a long way. We still have a long way in the sense that many families, after the death of the husband, they want to take over. Widows are not asked what needs to be done. They are told what needs to be done. We still have a long way in educating the communities about what needs to be done, what happens. The processes of the estate administration, we don't understand that. They do not know that. And families feel they are obligated to take over. And those education form part of ensuring that everybody understand their roles within this. Because in the end, if everybody work together, it's easy to promote family cohesion, and it's easy for the widow to heal because they've got the support system from all the families, from everybody around them.
Is there a notable difference in families' treatment of widows who are married customarily and those who are married under Western law?
There is a difference. There is a difference because those that are married in Home Affairs, they sign, they actually get better outcome because then when the process of deceased estate is administered, it's obvious that it can proceed without the wife. On the other hand, most often, particularly in the rural area, we find that the women are sent back home to their families. And in the process, we do not understand the impact this over the children. We are raising children who are angry. We are raising children who do not know what to do, but who are helpless, that in the end, the outcome, if they are not attended to, result in a very negative impact in their lives. And we ask ourselves, where did this come from? But the root of the cause is the fact that they were not treated and they were not given support by their paternal families.
But Kusela, that's where rights education comes in, and we clearly then need to go out, especially in the more rural communities, to make sure that women who are married under customary law are aware that they too have rights by law.
Yeah, and if you can check, you know, elderly women that are widows, they are treated different from the younger ones. I think because they've already established in the family, and then when it comes to younger widows, they are, I don't understand, they are treated differently. And the families, they always want to make sure that most of the time, if there is money involved, so the family want to make sure that the younger widow, you know, it remains in the family. So they want to make sure that maybe one of the younger brothers or the older brother must take over so that she doesn't go away. But if there is no money involved or the husband died poor, they don't want to do anything to do. They don't want anything to do with that woman. So it is very difficult, especially in the rural areas, for women to understand that even if I'm married in customary law, I still have rights. And those rights, you know, like no one can take away from me. I can fight. I can still go to court even to show that I am a lawful wife of the deceased, and I am in law. I am entitled to inherit whatever was left for the husband and for my children.
Kuselwa Awerani, thank you so much to you both for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was Kuselwa Tyanki from the Socio-Economic Rights Institute, as well as Awerani Madira, founder of Widowed Foundation.